Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the National News broadcast. Bringing you your top stories for tonight, I am Lakshita Dirasinghe.
And I'm Kenza Farooq. Now let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
Specialists-oriented mechanism will be established in implementing educational reforms, says the President. A high pension beneficiary scheme for the fishing community. Necessity to build safety systems to protect from fraudulent economic activities stressed. Sri Lanka is an excellent example of hope and ability of resilience in a world faced with crisis, says the Prime Minister in Switzerland. A suspect taken into police custody with a stock of ice narcotic valued more than 900 million rupees. Veneration of the sacred relics of Lord Buddha from 4th to 11th February at Gangarama Vihara. Temperature in Nuwara down to 7.4 degrees Celsius today. Frost at a number of places. Relations between President Trump and friendly nations in crisis. The official display of ICC T20 World Cup commenced in Sri Lanka.
Now in our top local story for tonight, President Anura Kumar Dissanayake says that the government has taken action to establish a mechanism with proper legal framework joined with all parties including university lecturers and experts to solve the existing problems in implementing educational reforms.
The President made these remarks joining discussions with the University Teachers Trade Unions Association today. The meeting was held at the President's office. At the meeting, the university lecturers pointed out the problems erupted in implementing educational reforms through a structure based on the National Education Institute. According to the prevailing rules, regulations and acts, the University Teachers Association commended the decision taken by the President and the government. They further said that they accept the need of new education reforms. They are very much essential, especially for the students in rural schools. The university teachers stated that they are ready to contribute to the government's effort in this regard. The President stressed that the government will take maximum measures possible to protect the university network and education. The President further added that the government has efficiently implemented the program to rebuild the country following the disaster situation. He invites the university lecturers to extend their support for this endeavour.
Now, meanwhile, intellectuals point out that the time has arrived for a transformation in education in the country. They emphasize that the present reforms should have been implemented 10 years before expressing their views to the national television. Professor Suranga Silva of the Economics Department of the Colombo University said that the current system fails to produce productive citizens and a skilled workforce. He noted that this misalignment often leads to widespread unemployment and underemployment, hindering national progress. Consequently, he viewed these changes as a long overdue necessity, ideally required a decade ago to accelerate Sri Lanka's economic development and foster a more capable, socially responsible generation. Senior lecturer of the University of Sri Jayawardenepura, Dr. Tissara Satsara observed that the country is significantly lagging behind global standards despite having broad educational access. He highlighted that while developed nations have revolutionized their systems over the last 20 years, Sri Lanka's curriculum remains inadequate for modern technological and socio-economic needs. He called the immediate implementation of modern reforms to ensure that the nation's children can remain competitive and relevant within the rapidly evolving global landscape. Parents of grade 6 students of the Divisional Secretariat Division Lankapura, Polonnaruwa held a silent protest today, demanding the implementation of new educational reforms in front of Vijita Mahavidyalaya Lankapura. A group of parents of students attending Sinhala and Tamil schools in Navalapeti area handed over a message to parliamentarian Tushari Jayasinghe demanding the re-implementation of postponed Grade 6 educational reforms. The message was handed over at the Public Relations Office of the National People's Power, Nawalapitia.
Minister Dhammika Patabandi told the Parliament today that the Auditor General's report has shown that there is a controversy in the auditing of the cable car project in Ambuluava. The minister stated that a proper investigation will be conducted on the temporarily stopped project and submit a report. Parliamentarian Anuradha Jayaratne addressed concerns regarding the safety and transparency of the Ambuluava cable car project. He noted that there have been public claims suggesting that the project poses a landslide risks to the Gampala area. The parliamentarian emphasized that in 2022 he facilitated an investment of $12.75 million for the project. In a recent technical and administrative update, the Minister of Environment, Dr. Dhammika Patabandi, raised serious concerns regarding the cable car project in the geologically sensitive Ambuluava region. Confirming that the area is highly prone to landslides, the minister revealed that construction had reportedly proceeded without the mandatory recommendations from the National Building Research Organization. Furthermore, he highlighted significant financial and administrative irregularities cited in a 2024 Auditor General's report, noting that while the project was estimated at 1.2 billion rupees, the contract was awarded to a company called Amber Adventure without a formal tender process, a move made just 6 days after the company's registration. Dr. Patabandi also detailed a potential conflict of interest, pointing out that the board of directors for Amber Adventure includes several relatives of MP Anuradha Jayaratne, specifically his father-in-law and brother-in-law. As a result of these findings, the Ministry of Environment has ordered an immediate halt to all construction pending a formal investigation, with a comprehensive site assessment scheduled for the February 4th.
A high pension benefit scheme has been introduced for the fishing community by the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources and the Agricultural and Agrarian Insurance Board. It has been a special feature that the pension benefit scheme has been introduced as per the expectation and the purchasing power of the fishing community. They can contribute 5,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 25,000 rupees or more than that as per the wish. This pension benefit scheme has been formulated enabling them to obtain the amount monthly after completing 60 years of age. In another special feature, the pension allowance will increase within each age limits after 60 years. In addition, by contributing to this scheme, they will inherit a life insurance benefit as well. In the case of the demise of the pensioner, the spouse will be able to claim it. The community engaged in employment related to fisheries and fishing activities are eligible to contribute to this scheme.
Chief Advisor to the President on Digital Economy, Dr. Hans Vijay Surya, says that the building of safety systems and RegTech to safeguard from fraudulent economic activities created with the advancement in technology are essential for financial sustainability. He made these remarks addressing the first National Banking and Finance Seminar of the Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka.
The launch of a book on the history of the institution and the theme song of the Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka, and the issuing of the commemorative stamp and the first day cover on the occasion of the 60th anniversary of the institution was also conducted on this occasion. The seminar, being conducted under the theme Digital Transformation and Financial Stability, will be a live platform for prominent professionals in the area, policymakers, intellectuals and professionals to exchange views and share experience and to explore new roads that will shape the future of the financial sector as well.
They are also available to everybody else. And therefore, unless you are on the right side of the adoption crevice, I would not even say adoption curve, it's a binary line. Especially with AI. If you adopt and use AI better than others, you will progress. If not, your competitiveness will deplete very, very rapidly. So in the financial sector, we could extend what we see today as open payments to concepts like open lending, where lending becomes a marketplace, insurance, where insurance becomes a marketplace, banking, open banking, etc. So there are many, many sectors of the financial segment. I mentioned that digital has to invade everything, but as it invades, a meaningful form of invasion is where they get opened up. So the picture ahead, I think, is one where the super ROI is there to grab, and the path to it is digital transformation, but with a consciousness and an awareness and an admission that these very technologies will fight against us, and we need to therefore be one step ahead of the game. And this is the architecture that we are adopting as the government of Sri Lanka within the digital economy blueprint, which is where we have aimed, and we will horizontalize several digital infrastructures such as the digital ID, the National Data Exchange, verifiable credentials, very importantly, the payment platforms, which are already very advanced in Sri Lanka, and many other digital capabilities which are horizontal, means that you create these platforms, open the capabilities through APIs and marketplaces, just like, say, the Google Marketplace or the Amazon Marketplace, for developers, innovators to take and create more and more and more services. That creates that multiplier
in this journey. Today, with a smartphone, anyone can do transactions instantly, safely and efficiently. Customer expectations have transformed as well. People expect banking to be instant, personalized, secure and available anywhere, anytime. This requires us to think differently about products, processes and the very business model of financial institutions. The idea of mobile banking, real-time analytics, or AI-assisted finance services would have sounded like science fiction those days. Today, sustainability is not just a moral responsibility. Climate risks are financial risks. Environmental factors influence asset values, credit performance, and long-term stability. In the coming decades, banks will be expected not only to generate profits, but also to demonstrate purpose and to contribute to climate resilience and social well-being. Under this environment, some may think digital transformation and sustainability are separate agendas, but in reality, both are deeply interconnected. Digital tools enable to model climate risk more accurately, support to track carbon footprints across supply chains, help to expand financial inclusion through mobile platforms and digital identities, and improve transparency in green finance. Therefore, digital transformation cannot just be considered as another IT project, but it is a financial strategy. It's the single most critical driver for achieving and maintaining long-term financial sustainability in a connected global economy. If we treat digital transformation merely as an option or an upgrade, we risk ourselves becoming obsolete. Therefore, we have to acknowledge it as an engine of sustainable value creation.
Officials of the Institute of Bankers of Sri Lanka and a large number of persons from banking and financial sector were present on the occasion. The seminar, which commenced yesterday, will come to a conclusion today.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that tourism industry is a tool that can influence the world through culture, values, policies, international attraction and trust. The Prime Minister, who is on a visit to Switzerland to take part in the World Economic Forum, made these comments joining a dialogue with the Tourism Forum yesterday. The dialogue on tourism industry was held at the Euronews Centre in Davos in Switzerland by the guidelines of World Economic Forum. Top-level representatives of many countries were present at this dialogue. It is significant that heads of leading companies in the countries like Turkey and Saudi Arabia were also present at this occasion. The Prime Minister told the gathering that Sri Lanka is a superb example in discussing the rebuilding of hopes in a world among continuous crisis and the ability of tolerance. The Prime Minister held a bilateral discussion with the Commissioner of the European Union of International Partnership, Joseph Sikela. They focused attention of advancing the partnership of both sides by strengthening cooperation between Sri Lanka and European Union. The Prime Minister met Chairman of the Director Board of the Asian Development Bank, Masato Kanda, as well. They raised concerns on existing relationship between Sri Lanka and the Asian Development Bank and strengthened the future partnership.
The people-to-people connections that tourism enables is one of the main factors that has enriched our relationships and strengthened diplomacy throughout with the countries that we engage with. The way we welcome people, word that we use, Ayubowan itself, right? It's about have a long life. That sentiment is what we've been known throughout history for. Sri Lanka is actually one of the countries in Asia where everyone is welcome. We're looking for investors who are interested in a long-term investment will ensure a resilient economy, a resilient tourism sector, green, one that's climate friendly, and one that's also inclusive. Right? So that's the vision that we have for our tourism sector.
Exposition of relics of Lord Buddha is to be held at the Gangarama temple in Hunupitiya in Colombo for 7 days from the 4th to the 11th of February. The relics are brought to Sri Lanka with the intervention of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and under the full patronage of the Indian government. A discussion in organising the basic activities for the exhibition was held at the Presidential Secretariat this morning under the patronage of Minister of Public Security Ananda Vijaypala and President Secretary Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumar Nayaka. These relics have been unearthed in an excavation made at Prime Minister Narendra Modi's birthplace in Gujarat during the 1960s. These relics that are believed to be of Gautama Buddha have not yet been dispatched out of India. These sacred relics are brought to Sri Lanka as a result of the talks held between President Anura Kumar Dissanayake and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi when he was visiting Sri Lanka recently. Thereby, the people of Sri Lanka will have the very rare opportunity to worship the sacred relics of Buddha. The relics will be brought to the Bandaranaike International Airport in Kattunayake on the 4th of February and then to the Gangarama Temple in Hunupitiya. Venerable Kirindeya Sanjitero announced that the Indian government, in coordination with the President of Sri Lanka, is arranging a historic exhibition of the sacred relics of Lord Buddha. He emphasized that these relics are authenticated physical remains that the Sri Lankan public has never previously had the opportunity to venerate. The minister expressed his belief that this event will provide a significant spiritual blessing to the nation, fostering a peaceful environment and promoting the well-being of its citizens.
ආශිර්වාදයක් කරගනි තමන්ගේ ජීවිත සුවපත් කරගන්න. ඒක අපේ රටට හොඳ යහපත් වාතාවරණයක් ඇති කර ගැනීම සඳහා ඉවහල් වෙනවා කියන විශ්වාසය තියෙන නිසා අපි මේ කාර්යයට අත ගහලා තියෙන්නේ බොහොම ශ්‍රද්ධාවෙන් ගෞරවයෙන්. ඉන්දියාවේ සිට වැඩම
Minister Ananda Vijaypala said in support of this initiative confirmed that the President's office will oversee all logistical arrangements and provide the necessary facilities throughout the entire duration of the relic stay from their arrival at the airport to their eventual return to India.
Sri Lanka's representative Sabina Yusuf departed from the Kattunayake International Airport today to participate in the 41st Mrs. World pageant to be held in the United States.
The pageant, with the participation of around 60 contestants from countries around the world, is scheduled to take place from tomorrow until the 29th in Las Vegas, USA. A group including Ishadi Amenda, who won the first runner-up title at the 2024 Mrs. World pageant, were present at the airport to extend their best wishes to her.
I won. My name is Sabina Yusuf. I am Mrs. Sri Lanka World 2025, proudly representing my country Sri Lanka and now leaving for the Mrs. World pageant internationally in Las Vegas. I want to thank my National Director Chandimal Jayasinghe sir for organizing this pageant and making this platform available for all married women to participate in the beauty pageant. Also behind Chandimal Jayasinghe stands a huge team behind working tirelessly for making this pageant work. And Rukmal sir, I want to thank you for all the events and everything, for the catwalk practice we have done, and Tariq sir for the advocacy training. This team I couldn't have done without my family, my husband, my mom, my father, everyone, and the whole Sri Lanka and the whole nation of our 22 million citizens and our humans as well. I am really, really grateful for this opportunity.
More local news coming up after this short break.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Welcome back as we take a look at more local stories. A proposal by Sri Lankan Buddhists to designate the month of May as the Buddhist Heritage Month has gained momentum in Canada. The proposal has reached a significant milestone in the Canadian parliamentary process, presented by a Sri Lankan national living in Canada. The initiative was brought forward by Visita Sirinleela Ratna, a Sri Lankan Buddhist who advocated for official recognition of Buddhism's cultural and spiritual contributions to Canadian society. In Canada, public initiatives must first gain support through a formal petition process before being considered for parliamentary legislation. The petition calling for the designation of May as Buddhist Heritage Month was published on the official website of the Parliament of Canada and has already reached the minimum number of signatures required to advance the proposal. Consequently, the Canadian Parliament has approved the preliminary steps necessary to move the proposal towards being drafted as a parliamentary bill. Visita Sirinleela Ratna stated that the bill is expected to be presented and passed in the Canadian Parliament in the near future. He also noted that the petition remains open, allowing any Canadian citizen or resident to continue signing in support of the proposal by logging on to the Parliament of Canada's official website. Once adopted, the annual observance of Buddhist Heritage Month in May would provide an important platform to promote Buddhist heritage, values and traditions across Canada, with official recognition and support from the Canadian government.
In more local news, Police Special Task Force has taken a suspect into custody along with a stock of 61 kilograms and 836 grams of ice narcotics at Nitambua. According to police, the value of the stock of narcotics is about 900 million rupees. The suspect was taken into custody while he was transporting the stock of drugs in a three-wheeler during a raid conducted according to information received by officials of Gonahina's Police Special Task Force camp. He is a 45-year-old resident in Pinnagolavatta, Nitambua. It has been revealed during investigations that the suspect is connected with organized criminals and drug peddlers living abroad. The national operation, A Nation United, with the objective of completely eradicating the spread of drug menace in the country, is being implemented island-wide. A total of 805 suspects have been taken into custody by yesterday during the operations A Nation United. National operation is continuing since 30th of October last year. 263 heroin raids and 303 raids on ice narcotic have been conducted by yesterday. The total number of raids conducted has been 813. The Police Media Division, in a communique issued, stated that 18 suspects under detention orders and another 11 persons were sent for rehabilitation. A suspect, along with a cache of 200 grams and 140 milligrams of heroin narcotic, has been taken into custody at Milleva in Allava Police Division with another female suspect by the officials of the Western Province North Crime Division. A youth who conducted a large-scale narcotic business in a residence near Valla Road in Kurusapallia, Maravilla, has been taken into custody with a stock of heroin and ice narcotic by the anti-corruption unit officials of Maravilla Police. 450 grams and 450 milligrams of heroin, 5 grams and 200 milligrams of ice narcotic.
The annual Asia Vision Coordinators Meeting 2026 officially began today in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, bringing together top news leaders from across the Asia-Pacific Broadcasting Union network. Held under the theme Bridging the Asia-Pacific, One Story, Many Voices, the summit focuses on strengthening regional news exchange and collaborative journalism. The Asia Vision Coordinators Meeting 2026 commenced today at the Perdana Kuala Lumpur City Centre with delegates representing broadcasters from across the Asia-Pacific region. The summit opened with keynote remarks by ABU Director of News Mr. Indra Singh and ABU News Group Chair and Deputy Director General of the TRT Turkiye, Mr. Ahmed Kormez, who emphasized the importance of unity, trust and cooperation in regional news reporting. A major highlight of the first day was the member case study session titled Covering Cyclone Ditwa, a deep dive into Sri Lankan media coverage and logistics. Representing national television Rupavahini, Arush Balalla outlined the state broadcaster's intensive 72-hour emergency operation carried out during one of Sri Lanka's worst natural disasters.
Now I want to share the reality of what it felt like inside the building, the story of a journalist. We were working far beyond our capacities, to be honest. It was incredibly stressful. Many of us didn't know the status of our homes because journalists themselves sacrificed. They were staying for all these 72 hours in the newsroom. And it was a national priority. We were keeping it. So not only that, we have to do the 12 news bulletin, the 8 p.m. news, and the English news bulletins. It's not just a section of foreign news that we have to contribute. So we couldn't fail as well. It's a national responsibility. So my small team with 4 took full total responsibility. So we were unified, and we became a bridge in national crisis, and were disseminating news to the world to help us.
Offering a private media perspective, MTV representative Jeffrey Jebadarshan detailed the network's grassroots-level reporting efforts, including overcoming communication breakdowns to deliver real-time updates to affected communities. The joint presentation highlighted unprecedented cooperation between state and private media in Sri Lanka, showcasing how collaborative journalism helped combat misinformation and support life-saving relief operations. The meeting, sponsored by Tourism Malaysia, will continue tomorrow with discussions on artificial intelligence in the newsroom and editorial standards for responsible journalism. Now, mainly dry weather will prevail in most parts of the island, and the Met Department says there is a possibility of ground frost at some places in Nuwara district in the early hours of the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western Sabaragamuwa Central, northwestern, north central and Uva provinces, and in Gaul, Matara, Ampara and Vaunia districts during the early hours of the morning. Meanwhile, our correspondent said that ground frost was fallen in Nuwara area today due to the acute chilly weather. Ground frost occurs in Nuwara annually during the month of December. It is reported that severe chilly weather conditions prevail from evening to morning these days.
Now, trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange closed today with the all-share price index at 23,806.32 and the S&P Sri Lanka 20 index at 6,619.32. Market turnover amounted to rupees 9.81 billion, with actively largely driven by domestic investors. A total of over 51,000 trades were recorded during this session. Market capitalization increased to 8.47 trillion rupees, reflecting overall market stability. Now, coming up is your international news. Now in your international news, relations between Washington and its closest allies have reached a new low after President Donald Trump reaffirmed his controversial push to acquire Greenland.
White House sources said the president described U.S. ownership of the island as essential to national security, signaling there would be no diplomatic retreat. The comments drew strong reactions at the World Economic Forum in Davos. French President Emmanuel Macron warned that the international system was slipping into a lawless state. The dispute has escalated into economic measures. From February 1st, the United States is expected to impose new tariffs on several European nations, including a steep increase on French wine and champagne. The tensions have also put pressure on NATO, with President Trump publicly questioning the commitment of alliance members. Canada has expressed full support for Denmark, while Greenland's leadership has reiterated that the island's future must be decided by its people.
In more international news, the man who assassinated former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has been sentenced to life in prison, more than 3 years after the shocking killing that stunned Japan and the world.
Prima Stella, අපි හැමෝම කැමති.
And finally, in your sports news, the official display of ICC T20 World Cup commenced today in Sri Lanka at the President's office, led by President Anurukumara Dissanayake.
The tournament is being held with the co-sponsorship of India and Sri Lanka this year. The trophy will be displayed at several main cities in the island from today to the 24th of this month. Cricket fans will be able to have a close look at the trophy during the Sri Lanka-England ODI match being played at the R. Premadasa International Cricket Stadium in Colombo. Later it will be taken to Kandy, Dambulla and Jaffna. An opportunity has been provided for cricket fans of those areas to take photographs with the trophy and to view it. The main objective of the England cricket tour is to raise spectator attention and enthusiasm before the conducting of the World Cup cricket tournament in this country. The ICC T20 World Cup cricket tournament will be held with the co-sponsorship of India and Sri Lanka this year from the 7th of February to the 8th of March.
And finally, International Cricket Council has given a one-day period to Bangladesh to reconsider the decision rejecting playing in India in the 2026 ICC T20 World Cup cricket tournament. This decision has been taken at its board meeting by the ICC. Bangladesh Cricket Board has informed the International Cricket Council they will not be participating in any matches to be held in India in the World Cup cricket tournament due to security reasons. They had also requested the matches to be held in Sri Lanka. During the board meeting held today, majority of votes were against the Bangladesh decision. It has been emphasized that there will be no problem regarding security in conducting matches in India. The ICC board has decided to provide the opportunity to Scotland in accordance with the points provided in ICC rankings of teams in case Bangladesh fails to respond positively.
And that's a wrap on tonight's news bulletin. Do join us tomorrow for more of the very latest. Until then, good night.
Good night.